Before the birth of Marcus Aurelius, Rome had already emerged as a leading power in the Mediterranean world. The political structure of the Roman Republic had been replaced by the Roman Empire with the rise of Augustus in 27 BC. A period of peace and prosperity known as Pax Romana, or Roman peace, had started under Augustus and continued under his successors. This era was marked by a centralized system of government, expansive building programs, improved infrastructure, and a complex network of roads and aqueducts, all of which fostered economic growth. The empire was prosperous, its boundaries were expanding, and its culture and language were spreading far and wide. Rome was at the peak of its power, and its influence stretched from the British Isles in the north to the Sahara Desert in the south, and from the Iberian Peninsula in the west to the Mesopotamian territories in the east. Within this context, on April 26, 121 AD, Marcus Aurelius was born in Rome. Born into an aristocratic family, Marcus Aurelius Annius Verus was destined for greatness from the beginning. His lineage could be traced back to the founding families of Rome, the so-called old aristocracy, and his close ties with the ruling Emperor Hadrian would prove to be instrumental in his journey to becoming one of Rome's most renowned emperors. Marcus's early life was shaped by the influence of his grandfather, Annius Verus, who was a man of considerable wealth and standing in Roman society. It was under his guidance that Marcus developed his characteristic qualities of diligence and modesty, which would later be reflected in his rule as emperor. Despite being born into a privileged position, Marcus was not shielded from the harsh realities of life. His father, also named Marcus Annius Verus, passed away when he was only a few years old. As a result, Marcus was primarily raised by his mother, Domitia Lucilla, and his grandfather, Annius Verus. This early exposure to the fragility of life instilled in Marcus a deep sense of mortality, a theme that would be recurring in his later philosophical writings. His education was entrusted to a series of esteemed tutors, among whom was the renowned Stoic philosopher Lucius Apollonius of Chalcedon. This early education had a profound impact on Marcus, leading him to embrace Stoic philosophy, which emphasized rationality, self-restraint, and virtue as the highest good. Even as a young boy, Marcus showed signs of his intellectual capabilities and his extraordinary commitment to duty, qualities that didn't go unnoticed by Emperor Hadrian. Emperor Hadrian, known for his building programs and defensive fortifications, including the famous Hadrian's Wall in Britain, was also keen on ensuring the stability and continuity of imperial power. Having no children of his own, Hadrian adopted Antoninus Pius as his son and successor, with the understanding that Antoninus would subsequently adopt Marcus Aurelius and Lucius Verus as his heirs. Marcus was just 17 when he was adopted by Antoninus Pius, who ascended to the throne upon Hadrian's death in 138 AD. This adoption marked the beginning of Marcus's formal political career, a journey that would ultimately lead him to the pinnacle of power in the Roman Empire. During the reign of Antoninus Pius, Marcus was gradually introduced to the administrative affairs of the empire. He was initially given the title of Caesar, and then later, the prestigious title of Princeps Juventutis, which signaled his status as the heir apparent to the Roman throne. During these years, Marcus also completed his education, studying rhetoric, law, and philosophy, further refining his intellectual prowess and Stoic perspective on life. Marcus's marriage to Antoninus's daughter, Faustina the Younger, in 145 AD further cemented his position within the imperial family. This union produced 13 children, of which only one son and 4 daughters survived into adulthood. Marcus's relationship with Antoninus was more than just familial. Antoninus served as a mentor to Marcus, teaching him the art of governance and statecraft. Marcus was given various responsibilities and held numerous positions, which familiarized him with the workings of the empire's administration. This long period of tutelage under Antonius Pius prepared Marcus for his future role as the Roman emperor. In 161 AD, after a peaceful and prosperous reign of 23 years, Antoninus Pius died, leaving Marcus as his chosen successor. Upon the death of Antoninus Pius, the Roman Senate swiftly confirmed Marcus as the new emperor, thus marking the beginning of Marcus Aurelius's reign. In a departure from tradition, Marcus insisted that his adopted brother Lucius Verus be made co-emperor, reflecting his stoic values of fairness and brotherhood. Thus began the rule of Marcus Aurelius, a philosopher emperor whose reign would be characterized by wisdom, compassion, and a deep commitment to duty. The early years of Marcus Aurelius's reign, alongside his co-emperor Lucius Verus, were relatively peaceful. The empire continued to thrive economically, and its boundaries remained secure. However, in 161 AD, a conflict erupted in the eastern provinces of the empire. The Parthian king, Vologases IV, had invaded the kingdom of Armenia, a Roman ally. This marked the beginning of the Parthian War, which would last until 166 AD. This was the first major military challenge Marcus faced as emperor, and he dispatched Lucius Verus to lead the Roman armies against the Parthians. Despite Lucius Verus's nominal leadership, the war was largely directed by the experienced generals in the field. The Roman forces, after a series of initial setbacks, managed to repel the Parthians, reinstating the pro-Roman king in Armenia, and even capturing the Parthian capital, Ctesiphon. The Parthian War not only cemented Rome's dominance in the eastern provinces but also demonstrated Marcus's strategic capabilities as a leader. However, the returning soldiers from the eastern front brought back with them a plague, later known as the Antonine Plague, which would have profound effects on the Roman Empire. The Antonine Plague, believed to have been smallpox or measles, began to spread throughout the empire in 165 AD. The plague ravaged the Roman population for several years, causing widespread death and suffering. It significantly impacted Rome's economy and military strength as the deaths escalated into the millions, with the empire losing a significant portion of its population. Marcus was faced with the daunting task of handling this severe crisis. His response was characterized by effective leadership and stoic acceptance of the harsh reality. Despite the catastrophic effects of the plague, Marcus managed to maintain stability within the empire. He took steps to ensure the continuation of state functions, organized aid for those affected, and worked to maintain the morale of his people during these trying times. Marcus's philosophical inclinations, grounded in Stoicism, played a critical role in shaping his response to the Antonine Plague. His personal writings, later compiled as Meditations, served as a source of comfort and guidance during these challenging times. The Meditations are a testament to Marcus's introspective nature and his unwavering commitment to duty and virtue. Despite the personal and societal tragedies that unfolded during the plague years, Marcus continued to embody the principles of Stoicism, offering a remarkable example of leadership in the face of adversity. His philosophical musings during this period continued to be celebrated for their wisdom and insights into the human condition. In the midst of the Antonine Plague, Marcus also faced external threats to the empire. In 167 AD, various Germanic tribes collectively known as the Marcomanni, allied with other northern tribes, began to cross the Danube River into Roman territory, instigating what came to be known as the Marcomannic Wars. It was an intermittent conflict that would last for the rest of Marcus's reign. Initially, the Roman forces faced difficulties due to the weakened state of the military, a direct result of the ongoing plague. However, Marcus Aurelius, who until then had limited military experience, took direct command of the legions. The philosopher king turned warrior emperor departed Rome and headed to the troubled northern frontier. His personal leadership and presence on the battlefield were a testament to his commitment to Rome's defense and his dedication to duty. The Marcomannic Wars were more than just border skirmishes. They posed a significant threat to the stability of the empire. The northern tribes had united in a manner unseen before and were making deep incursions into Roman territories. Marcus, despite the adversities, led a series of successful campaigns against the invading tribes. He displayed remarkable strategic acumen and resilience, pushing back against the invaders. However, the war was not only fought on the battlefields. Marcus had to secure funds for the costly campaigns, and this led him to institute a series of financial reforms. He even sold off imperial possessions to raise funds, a move that displayed his personal sacrifice for the sake of the empire. In 169 AD, co-emperor Lucius Verus died unexpectedly, likely from the Antonine Plague. This event left Marcus as the sole ruler of the Roman Empire in a time of crisis. The loss of his adopted brother and co-emperor was a personal blow to Marcus, who mourned his death deeply. Nevertheless, he continued to dutifully bear the responsibilities of managing the empire alone, further displaying his stoic acceptance of life's trials. This period marked a shift in Marcus's reign as he had to shoulder the burden of leadership alone amidst multiple crises. Despite these challenges, Marcus's rule was marked by his wisdom, fairness, and stoicism, rather than despotism or neglect, as seen in other rulers during times of crisis. His handling of these complex issues continues to be regarded as one of the high points of Roman leadership. Marcus Aurelius's reign was not only about military campaigns and managing crises. He was also deeply involved in the administration of the empire and implemented various judicial and legal reforms. Drawing upon his extensive knowledge of law and philosophy, Marcus strived to make the Roman legal system more equitable and humane. He extended the protection of the law to more citizens, including slaves, and limited the use of harsh punishments. His edicts show a clear emphasis on justice, compassion, and a concern for the welfare of his subjects. His legislative reforms were a reflection of his Stoic principles, showing his belief in the inherent dignity and worth of all individuals, irrespective of their status. During his reign, Marcus also dealt with issues related to succession. His initial plan was to pass on the throne to his son, Commodus, and his son-in-law, Pompeianus. However, the premature death of two of his sons and his wife, Faustina the Younger, left Commodus as the sole successor. Despite concerns about Commodus's suitability as emperor, Marcus, in line with the tradition of dynastic succession, groomed Commodus as his successor, granting him the title of Caesar in 166 AD and making him co-emperor in 177 AD. Amid the political and personal challenges, Marcus continued his philosophical reflections, which were compiled in his work, Meditations. Written in Greek during his military campaigns, Meditations served as a personal diary where Marcus explored his thoughts and emotions. It is a profound document reflecting the emperor's Stoic philosophy and providing an insight into his inner life. His reflections on virtue, duty, mortality, and the nature of human life have made Meditations one of the foundational texts of Stoic philosophy, widely read and admired even today. Marcus's later years were consumed by the ongoing Marcomannic Wars. Despite several successful campaigns, the war had become a protracted conflict. The northern tribes, although pushed back, continued to pose a significant threat to the Roman frontiers. In 180 AD, while on campaign, Marcus fell ill and died, marking the end of his 19-year reign. He was immediately deified by the Senate, and his death was mourned throughout the empire. His death also marked the end of the Pax Romana, a period of relative peace and stability for the Roman Empire. Despite the adversities and crises he faced, Marcus Aurelius's reign is remembered for his wise and just rule, his military leadership, and his deep philosophical insights. His life continues to be an enduring symbol of the philosopher king, ruling not through power or tyranny, but through wisdom and virtue. Upon examining Marcus Aurelius's life, his Stoic philosophy stands as a central feature defining both his personal character and his reign as emperor. Marcus did not merely study Stoicism, he lived by its principles. His writings in Meditations provide insights into how he internalized and applied Stoic teachings to his life and leadership. The Stoic belief in accepting things as they come and distinguishing between what one can and cannot control is evident in his handling of crises such as the Antonine Plague and the Marcomannic Wars. His commitment to duty, another Stoic ideal, is clearly seen in his personal leadership on the battlefield and in his tireless efforts to govern justly and effectively. Despite the magnitude of the challenges he faced, Marcus continually demonstrated Stoic virtues of courage, wisdom, justice, and temperance. Marcus's application of Stoicism also extended to his personal life. His endurance and resilience in the face of personal losses, including the death of his children and his wife, bear testament to his Stoic acceptance of life's hardships. He valued simplicity and was known for his austere lifestyle, shunning the extravagance that often characterized the Roman aristocracy. His personal conduct, both as a ruler and as an individual, reflected his belief in virtuous living and moral integrity. Stoicism also profoundly influenced his approach to governance. His legal reforms aimed at greater equity and compassion reflected the Stoic belief in the brotherhood of mankind and the inherent value of all individuals. Despite being the most powerful man in the world, Marcus held firmly to the Stoic principle of equality, famously writing in Meditations that, "We were born to work together like feet, hands, and eyes like the two rows of teeth, upper and lower. To obstruct each other is unnatural. To feel anger at someone, to turn your back on him, these are obstructions." Marcus Aurelius remains one of history's most admired figures not only for his accomplishments as a ruler but also for his philosophical insights and wisdom. Despite ruling nearly 2 millennia ago, Marcus Aurelius's life and lessons continue to illuminate the paths of leadership, virtue, and personal resilience. Marcus Aurelius's Stoicism, showcased in Meditations, provided enduring wisdom on resilience, self-restraint, and virtue. His writings foster introspection and urge us to focus on what's within our control, imparting timeless guidance for individuals across eras. His legacy as a Roman emperor endures not only in the context of his wise rule amidst adversity, but also in his philosophy's continued relevance. Today, his insights remain profound guides to leading a fulfilling life, further cementing his imprint on history.